Follow us on Twitter @Scratch Radio.
Okay, so on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. on BBC One, the Waterloo Road characters are into their spring term. But move algebra and Hemi8 to the side, we are left with characters that all face their own problems. One of these characters is Imogen Stewart, who has been involved in a fire caused by her on-off boyfriend, Connor and Imogen. I caught up with actress Kirstie Steele yesterday to find out about her latest storyline. I wanted to get to know Kirstie a bit better, and so I first asked her about how she got into acting.
Well, it's a funny story because I didn't initially go, that is exactly what I wanted to be, was an actress. But as a little girl, I've always been interested in doing acting classes. So my mum always took me there to get rid of some of my extra energy when I was little. And then it was only sort of recently in my older years that I decided that acting was kind of what I wanted to do. This is my first job.
This is your first kind of big job.
Yeah.
Okay, so you joined the show when it kind of moved from Rochdale to Greenock, and obviously that was a huge change for the viewers and for the cast and for the set, because obviously the whole set had moved, the school had moved. So what was it like when you kind of got there? Because everyone up there were kind of finding their own feet. You're coming in to also find your own feet. Was there, what was the atmosphere like?
Oh, it was an amazing atmosphere when you first joined the set. It was, you could just feel that it was going to be something new, something fresh, a brand new start for everyone. And that's quite good because it was a good new buzz to the show. It was giving it sort of a new paint of coat. But I think everyone was very excited that it was a sort of a new area and, new stories and definitely new characters. I got on very well with Shane to start with, who plays Connor. We had a lot of scenes together, so automatically we were always together, constantly on set and off set as well.
Waterloo Road has obviously lots of big names. Like we had Mark Benton, who plays Chalky. You've got JJ Goods, who's Sean. Zoe Lucker from Bad Girls and Footballers' Wives, who's Miss Barry. Lloyd Brett, obviously, is Christine. So what was it like when you were with them? Were you a bit starstruck? Did they, have you watched them before on their shows?
I've sort of heard about their shows. I was just a bit wondering what they were going to be like when, they were chatting to you, because they've had so much more experience than myself. But I can say that they're most down-to-earth people, and they're a great laugh, and they're really good at, taking you under their wing, especially Laurie Brett, who plays Christine. Obviously, I'd done a lot of scenes with her, and she was great as a sort of mentor to take me through the filming. And
well, what advice did they give you? Were they helping you with learning scripts? Were they helping you with the way you're portraying stuff? Because obviously you've had big storylines, which I want to talk about in a bit, of your hearing problems and also the scars. So if they helped you, set yourself up for them?
Sort of. Basically, they give you a lot of tips and stuff like that. They'll help you sort of try and get into the zone a bit more, and they'll maybe give you some guidance without being patronising about it. It's a great learning thing. You don't always get that sort of chance when you're on set sometimes to get some advice from people. So for them to give you that little advice about for example, there was a scene where I had to get slapped by Laurie in it, and she just gave me a sort of little tip, to hold her eye focus for just a little bit longer before I hit her, because obviously they kind of edit it out and things. So it's just little things like that you can learn as you go along, and obviously they've been in the industry for many years, so they know the tricks. And
you're not deaf in real life, so how did you prepare for this role? Because obviously it's a massive thing to undertake, and it's something that you kind of have to do throughout this show, and obviously your character's actually been quite good because she's hidden it a lot of the time. So how did you kind of get in the zone? Did you meet someone, and what's the feedback kind of been from people who have got hearing impediments?
Yeah, obviously this was the sort of big task for me as an actress to play this sort of deaf character. So basically the production helped me by bringing in a girl who had meningitis as a kid as well and lost her hearing. So I was able to chat to her and get a lot of feedback from her on just how she survives basically in school, when how she reacts with people looking at her and talking to her, and how she acts in class, where she would prefer to sit. So I got a lot of feedback from that, which was amazing. The reaction that I've got has been a great reaction from the public itself. I've had a lot of fans tweeting me and stuff about it and saying how I'm doing the role justice, which is really lovely to hear. So it's great to hear this feedback from everyone, and I just hope that I can do a good role.
And also then you've got the skimper, because there's a big fire that happened at the end of last series. So how did you feel about having another twist? Because obviously you've got the hearing impediment to do it, but then you've also got the scars to deal with. There's a lot of things to be aware of when you're socially. So how did you deal with having the skin problems? Yeah,
she's got many problems with Imogen, hasn't she? I think she's got the worst of them all. No, this one was more about how everyone was sort of reacting to you and how you sort of looked and how you see yourself coming across to everyone.
Okay, so that was my first part of the interview with Kirstie Steele, who plays Imogen in Waterloo Road. You're listening to the Johnny Seifert Breakfast Show on Scratch Radio. There's more to come from her about her storyline with Dynasty and with Connor and everything about kind of the show now in a bit. But first we're going to have the new one from Lawson, which I absolutely love. It's kind of got that Newton Faulkner kind of twist to it. This is Lawson and Learn to Love Again. You're listening to the Johnny Seifert Breakfast Show on Scratch Radio at 12:26. Scratch Radio.
Scratch Radio.
Okay, so you're listening to the Johnny Seifert Breakfast Show on Scratch Radio. It's now time for part 2 of my interview with actress Kirstie Steele, who plays Imogen in Waterloo Road. And it's time to hear about her new friendship that Imogen has formed with Dynasty. So, whilst you and Connor on a break, you have found an unlikely friend in Dynasty. And for those that don't watch the show, can you kind of describe the relationship? Because obviously Dynasty is very different to Imogen.
Yeah. Dynasty's character is a lot more, maybe say girly. The thing with Dynasty and Imogen, they're very similar, but they've also got like they're a bit like chalk and cheese, to be honest. So Dynasty's more about our physical look and our big hair and our lipstick and our fake nails, and Imogen's definitely nothing to do with that. They're far from it, where she's tried to hide from everyone and not draw as much attention to herself, a bit more gothic obviously in her appearance. She wears black most of the time.
And what's it like working with Abby Mavis, who plays Dynasty? She brought a new bit of life to Imogen, and
yeah, it's great that Abby's character sort of joined the show, because it's got Imogen, a good girlfriend in the show, because she's mainly been doing a lot of scenes with Connor, so it's been nice to have like a sort of girl partner in crime, basically. But she's brought a new energy, I think, to Imogen, and given her a lot more of respect within herself as well. So she's quite funny, Abby.
in tonight's episode, we see that Connor is forced to face up to his actions after revealing that he started to fire that bad Imogen. So how does he do this, and what are the consequences? Because obviously Imogen likes him and wanted to kind of get back with him, and she sent the text we saw last week. So how are them two at the moment, and what's this going to do to their relationship?
Basically, Imogen, I think, is absolutely so angry at the fact that he didn't tell her to start with that it was him. Because over the past many weeks, she's been thinking that Connor's been ignoring her because of how physically she looks and the scarring. Obviously, that might have something to do with it, because he feels more regret because he done it, but it wasn't the fact. She didn't realise it was because he done it, because for weeks she'd been thinking it was Christine. So she's feeling really upset that he never sort of told her about this. So she's very angry at the start of it, but she wants him to do the right choices when he comes back to school. So she wants him to tell the whole school that it was him that started the fire, and not just, let Christine take the blame for this. So, because this is a big deal to Imogen, obviously. So. And
is there any chance they could get back together then? Could they come through this hurdle? And because she knew what Connor was like with Christine, Christine's kind of pushed him, and then we've now seen that she was raped to have Connor, and there's a lot of insecurities coming out there. So could she kind of feel sorry for him and kind of take him back?
I think there's always a chance that the two of them could get back together, just because they are so. The two people that should be together, the star-crossed lovers, that they no matter how much they should be together, things will always tear them apart. But I think she always still has that sort of soft side for him, and because she is in love with him. So there is obviously a chance that they could get back together, but whether she'll get over this or not, we only need to wait and find out. And
what else is coming up for Imogen? Because there's 10 episodes left of this part of the series, so what else can we expect to come up, and what will we kind of be seeing in series 9?
There's a lot more coming up between Imogen and Connor, so there's a lot more stories with that and our relationship that comes across, and obviously the relationship that I have with Dynasty as well as a good friend in it, that also gets seen to a bit more. As far as series 9 is concerned, we have no idea. I don't have a clue anything what happens in the next. So would there be any
storylines you want to tackle? Because you've obviously got the skin stuff and you've got the hearing impediment at the moment. Is there another big kind of issue, social issue you want to be tackled with Imogen?
I think the thing with Waterloo Road, they can like change their ideas with the different sort of stories that they could do, and there's so much stuff that could happen. I would be happy to take on any of the issues that they come across with me. I'm not sure. I don't really know. I kind of would like another dramatic thing to happen, because I always like doing these sort of scenes where disaster strikes. But you never know. You never know.
And finally, you've done a school drama, and obviously you will leave Waterloo Road at some point, be it next year, the series after, or you may even stay as long as Chelsea Healy stayed for, which I think was about 8 years there. So what would you like to do after that? Would you do another soap opera like EastEnders or Corrie, or would you like to do a period drama, or what would you like to do after?
I'm a big fan of the dramas on the telly at the moment, so I would love to do more drama. I'm really enjoying like Doctor Who and Sherlock and things like that, so I'd love to do a bit more of a serious drama when I come out.
Brilliant. That was actress Kirstie Steele talking to me. Thanks to Kirstie for talking to me. Really appreciate that. Don't forget, Waterloo Road is on BBC One tonight at 8 p.m, where you can find out what happens with Connor and Imogen, whilst Kevin goes through his own problems when he finds out something's on Chalky's computer. But what is it? Mark Benton was on the Lorraine this morning talking about how he's in Hairspray now as Edna. Oh, God. Love him. I've been watching Barbara, a great comedy from the early noughties, late 90s, which I watched when it was originally on ITV3. She started showing it again.